So we have a bit of an unusual game today. We're playing McCree on Ilios, and we're playing him the entire way through. But, right, this is a quick play game, first off, and second off, you might notice we're already around in when the replay actually starts. But, right, so here's the thing. There's actually still quite a bit of game left, as you can see looking down here. There's still 13 minutes left. And honestly, I've seen, like, diamond games that are bigger clown fiestas than this game. There's some stuff to actually talk about, like, there's a few, like, McCree-specific things that I think are kind of important to talk about, and, frankly, I'll just take anything I'm given, you know. I'm not a very picky person. Don't quote that one out of context. So, let's start. Don't need to worry about the teams. It's quick play. There's, like, a Torbjorn on the enemy team. Don't even worry about it, you know. So, now, there's a thing McCree players do, and it's kind of happening now, which is why I'm talking about it, but, a lot of people when they play McCree, they try to position as if they were playing Soldier, which is not really the way to be, because McCree's fall-off is very severe after, 15 meters. It basically caps out, I think, and like, Soldier is a mid to long-range hero. McCree is actually a very close-range hero. Where we're standing right now is more of where a Soldier would like to stand, because you can see, like, the entire arena. You basically, like, threaten the entire zone around you. McCree is not so good at, like, firing straight across, like, open expanses like this. He's not as good as, like, Soldier is. So I prefer to stand sort of over here in this area, because you can kind of use this building as cover. There's a lot of, like, you know, there's a lot of cover here, there's the walls, there's the pillar in the middle, and you can kind of just sort of, like, poke around the back, try to pick people off who are hiding over here. If someone tries to come around here to flank you, you can punish them with the flashbang. I just find that's a generally better place to stand for McCree. There's, of course, the building, like, behind us as well, which is very similar, but I find more people tend to try and get round this area instead, because there's, like, a health pack in there, so it's a little bit easier. So that's more of what I'd like to see, but this is still fine. It's not like it's not like we're standing on the other side of Sanctum on Nepal, which is like the opposite side is like McCree's doing no damage across it. We are still doing damage if we shoot across the well, but that's my opinion anyway. So we could have just like rolled in on. Let me back up a little bit, because I'm getting distracted talking about holes, as I often do. So, right around here, we could try to, like, roll forward and flashbang Roadhog so that he doesn't kill the Reinhardt. We almost certainly wouldn't have made it in time, but when you're playing McCree, you do want to try and be watching the enemy Roadhog, because if you're one of the few people that if somebody gets hooked by Roadhog, you can actually save them with the flashbang. So we want to try and keep track of the enemy Roadhog if we can. Also, what we're doing now is not very well advised, because we've rolled directly forward right into, like, full view of the enemy team, basically. Like, there's a Roadhog right here, Torbjorn's here because Torbjorn's there, there's kind of a fight happening over here. So we're a little bit exposed, like Junkrat's behind us right now as well, I think, so this is not a great position to be in. So right around here, we want to be trying to get out, if at all possible, because we're getting, like, beat up by this turret. If we were a little healthier while we were over there, it would have been more, efficient to sort of go around the corner and try to flashbang right-click D.Va, but because we know there's a Torbjorn turret there on fucking well on Ilios, we couldn't really do that, but in most situations right there, we would want to try and get round the corner and just kill D.Va as quickly as possible and then get out. But it wasn't really possible right there. So, we're having a bit of trouble with this Junkrat. We're not really hitting him. Just aim better isn't really, like, good advice. But, like, it'd be about this point where I'd be like, fuck, I just can't hit this Junkrat, and I'd just start trying to, like, go through here, and, like, try to get in and, like, flashbang him, and then just, like, fan the hammer or shoot him when he's stunned, because I'd just be like, fuck, I can't hit him and I'm not doing anything. And if you are playing McCree, you do have the option of, if you can safely advance, if you can't hit someone from far away, if you can safely advance, you can just go up and just, like, flashbang them. And what are they going to do about it? Like, flashbang is, like, it's sort of just the I win card McCree has. So many people, if you hit them with the flashbang, they just die, you know? Even tanks, sometimes. Like, if you flashbang a Roadhog, you can kill a Roadhog. So, I don't like what we're doing here. Because we're high nooning in front of the whole team, and we immediately die. There's something to think about with high noon, because it's very unique compared to most ultimates, because there are a lot of ultimates that, once you get them, it's all you're thinking about, right? If you're playing like Reinhardt and you've got Earth Shatter, all you're thinking about is, how can I Earth Shatter the enemy team? If you're playing Genji, all you're thinking about is, how can I get in the backline with Dragon Blade, you know? High noon is not really like that, because it's a very slow ultimate. You have to stand out in the middle and channel on people. You know, it's very slow. It's very threatening, but it's very slow. So we can't use it very freely. It's hard to get a lot of value out of it. So I would advise, rather than being like, oh, I got high noon, let's use it right now. Don't think about it like that kind of way. Think of it as something that you have in your back pocket, but it's not like at the forefront of your mind, you know. Like, it's very good for zoning, it's not very good for actually killing people, which sounds weird because it, like, one-shots people, but it's not actually very good at killing people because it's so slow. But it's good to, like, it's good for zoning, so if, like, you hear, like, Lucio off in the distance uses sound barrier, and you can then, like, high noon, and the enemy team's gonna be like, oh, I don't know if I actually want to keep going in now, you know, something like that. It's very good for zoning. Think of it more as zoning than for, actually killing people. But there are situations where I, like, if there's, like, a Pharah floating above me and a fight's about to start, I'll just ult the fucking Pharah a lot of the time, just to make sure she dies really quickly. And yeah, you only ult the one person, but honestly, it's like high noon, when you use it, very rarely kills anyone, so that's perfectly fine, honestly, to do it, like, use it for that kind of situation, to just, like, burst someone down really quick, or to just, like, stop the enemy team from moving around freely. So, legend has it they're still contesting the point to this day, but eventually a team is going to start generating points and capture the point. One day. So, we're coming over here to trying to find the Pharah, that's good, we do want to prioritize her, we're playing McCree. Now we're kind of ignoring her even though she's firing right above us. Now we got it, now we're looking for it. Didn't realize there was a brick sticking out the side, kind of threw it straight into the wall, that's a little unfortunate. I do like what you do here, because you sort of set up around this small health kit, and you get a lot of value out of that health kit, actually, which I kind of like to see. Again, I prefer standing over here as Soldier, but McCree's still fine, and I like how independent you're being with the health kit. But right there, we were kind of tunnel visioning on the Torbjorn. Didn't really notice that Roadhog was there. He was very threatening at that point in time. We didn't really notice it, and we got right-clicked. Very sad. Very sad. So we need to kind of be a bit more cognizant of all the threats around us. Focusing Pharah again, that's good. Could have probably advanced a little faster and thrown a flashbang at her, but, you know, the important thing is we're still focusing on her. Now we don't really want to focus on her right around there, because, and, like, we're killing the Lucio here, which is good. Even though we didn't realize it was our Lucio at first, I was kind of like, whoa, that's not your Lucio. Pharah was, like, a little bit too far away there. When you're playing McCree, you do have to kind of, like, you want to focus Pharah, obviously, but you do have to, there's, like, a point in time where she'll be not your concern when she's too far away. Because when, like, if your fall off is too severe, you're doing, like, 5 damage to her. It's ridiculous. So, if Pharah is too far away from you, don't keep trying to focus her if you're playing McCree, because then you're just wasting your time. You've got to focus on somebody that you can actually try and, like, threaten and kill. Pharah, who's a mile away, not your concern anymore. Leave it to, like, a Soldier or an Ana at that point. Wait until she comes closer again, and just do something else with your time in the meantime. So, Lucio gets away from us here, it's a bit unfortunate, but we were kind of like, whoa, that's not our Lucio. So, it's not so terrible. I mean, it's bad he got away, yeah, but, you know, we were taken by surprise. So, we're not really doing too much here. Now we're getting Torbjorn. We get Torbjorn really good. That was pretty dope. Now, right here, we throw the flashbang way too late. The thing that McCree really has that Soldier doesn't have is that, like, in this kind of situation, McCree just wins. Because if we throw the flashbang right around now, we just throw the flashbang at him, or, like, roll forward, throw the flashbang at him, whatever, that guy's dead. But we throw it so late that we die. And, like, if somebody comes that close to us as McCree, and they only have 200 hit points, that person should be dead every time, because we just flashbang them, and then we just kill them. McCree is very good at punishing people who overextend, because flashbang is one of the only CCs in the game, and it's one of the best. You just throw it, bang, that person's dead. So, this high noon's a lot better, because you can't really... Nobody could really threaten you from that position, unless Roadhog suddenly teleported forward like 10 feet, so that was pretty good, and we use it to get 2 quick kills right at the start. That's like the perfect use of high noon, as far as I'm concerned. We used the we could have flashbanged Farah the first time we saw her right there, and she would have been a free kill, but we kind of hesitate, and, well, I don't know if we hesitate. It kind of seems like at a few points in the game you almost forget we have the flashbang. The flashbang's really important, because we can punish people so easily who get too close to us. Alright, so the tire's going around, we're kind of hanging back, waiting for it, that's fine. Yep, trying to focus Junkrat. He's pretty much the... we should be switching to Farah right there. And now, Farah's starting to get a little too far away. We tunnel visioned on the Farah a little bit too much, rolled forward into whole hog and got pinned in the corner. But you say deserved that, so you know as well that that wasn't the best plan right there. And tunnel visioning it's very easy to tunnel vision on someone like McCree or Soldier, and it's just kind of something that you just sort of have to train yourself to not do over time. Like, it's important to just kind of, like, see everything that's happening, you know? But, yeah, obviously, right? Obviously. I would have just flashbanged the D.Va right there, and again, we're not really paying attention to everything else that's happening on the point. We're tunnel visioning on the D.Va, and we just get killed by Junkrat. And I would have flashbanged, like, a lot sooner than that, just to, like, make sure that D.Va doesn't try to get, like, doesn't try to fly away, and, like, she can't defense matrix while she's stunned, obviously. So again, I would have flashbanged a lot sooner, and we need to just be more aware of all the threats that are around us in that kind of situation. Just because someone's overextended like D.Va was, doesn't mean we can just sort of ignore everything else that might be threatening. So... this is all fine. We kind of stand still a little bit. We're not really moving around too much, and Junkrat starts getting in on us. Farah's, like, right above us. We should be worrying about her more in that moment than we should be worrying about D.Va. Target prioritization is a very big part of playing a DPS. And it's like, you know, a lot of it's self-explanatory, because it's like, if you're playing Soldier and McCree, obviously your top priority is Farah, so in that situation, rather than shooting into the tank, which we're not so good at killing tanks as McCree, Farah's more of a concern to us, and then it's like, you know, it's like obvious stuff, it's like Farah top priority, supports, DPS, tanks, like overextended people in general are like the highest priority, and Farah was way overextended. You don't ever want to just be floating around in open air as Farah like she was doing right there. It's really easy to kill him. That's really good. It kind of stuttered on the video, but it was pretty good, don't worry. Yep. I would have just fanned the hammer on her, but that's very unfortunate. I did. First time I watched this through, I was like, whoa! Roadhog himself is surprised, watch. He's like, whoa, didn't expect that one to work so easily, damn. I would just fan the hammer on the D.Va, but it's fine, you know, it is better to just, flashbang someone and headshot them if you can, so, that's fine. Torbjorn is, like, way overextended. Again, I would have flashbanged him right there. That's a good use of high noon, then we get the kill, we roll away from the tire, and we luckily get it with the fan the hammer. I don't necessarily like that you fan the hammer on it. I would have preferred if you left-clicked it, but that's really nitpicky at that point, because it still worked, so, like, what is there to really complain about, you know? And now we're just sort of cleaning up the fight. That's, you know, everything's going well. Enemy teams scattered around. They have a Torbjorn. Zarya blinked out of existence. You know, it's just your standard average quick play game. Or, well, I mean, this is kind of like your average silver game as far as I'm concerned. I've seen bigger clown fiestas in actual competitive games. Like, I've seen a lot of competitive games on King of the Hill where there's like a Symmetra, a Torbjorn, Bastion running around, so just having a Torbjorn, well, that's a solid improvement over a lot of games. And someone sunk the basket, so now our win is pretty much guaranteed. It's as free as it could possibly be at this point. Should have skipped forward past this part probably, but you know, now there's not really very much point. So, this map is a little bit awkward for McCree because there aren't that many good places to really set up. Like, we can't really set up on, like, the roof of the building we're in right now. Standing in the point is a little bit awkward, but kind of one of the more ideal places for McCree on this map because there is, like, a lot of cover around there. Now, this is a target prioritization thing again that's about to happen because we see Lucio running here, and this Lucio, whoops. This Lucio is, like, a free kill right now. We should just roll up to him, flashbang him. But we see Torbjorn's turret laser, and we come over here to start killing the Torbjorn. That Lucio was as good as dead, and Lucio is definitely a higher priority than Torbjorn, so I'm not a big fan of what we did there. And Lucio actually manages to kill our Anna as a consequence of it as well, probably like pushed her off. So now we have a Symmetra on the enemy team as well. We flashbanged a little bit late there, but we still got her in the end, so, you know, what can I really complain about? And this is why it's kind of awkward to stand on the point as McCree on this map, because you just, like, a Roadhog can come in and be, like, bully you off like that if your team's not with you, which you can expect to frequently be the case, frankly. I like to set up again, like, in the sort of, the hut that's got the pillar and the health pack in the middle of it. That's where I like to stand around as McCree, because, again, you can punish people from there. You got, like, a lot of sight lines. I think it's a better place to stand for McCree. And, if you play McCree, you probably play Soldier. Like, there's usually a lot of overlap, I find. If you're playing Soldier, I like a lot to stand on the roof, just slightly to our right, just, like, you know, over there, on the roof above the big health pack. Because you can see, like, the whole fucking courtyard, you can see into the point, you can punish people from up there really easily as Soldier. Assuming you play Soldier, I'm just assuming based off the fact you play McCree, because, like, I play McCree and Soldier. How about that? Weird, it's almost like they're very similar heroes or something, you know? I generally like McCree more. That was really good, that was pretty sexy. I generally like McCree more on King of the Hill maps, though, just because it tends to be a bit of a close-up brawl, especially for Ilios. And McCree is better at that than Soldier. So this is, again, prioritization. Like, we could be moving closer to the turret to do this. We're well past the point of damage falling off, and it's just going to take us forever to do this. We should move closer to the turret. And also, like, there's a fight happening right here, right next to us while we're looking at this. Like, look, again, Lucio's right here. This Lucio should be dead. Just flashbang this fool and he is a dead man. He would be the freest of kills ever, which is all you can ask for a support. But we spend like 10 months just mailing our bullets over to the turret, and eventually we get them. God damn, just FedExing one bullet at a time over. So we can hear someone getting microwaved. That's a bit unfortunate. Since we could hear the microwave happening, we could have assumed it was happening over there, and we should have probably reacted a little bit faster. But at the same time, how often are you going to be playing Ilios and see a Symmetra microwaving someone over there? You know, it's a bit of an edge case at the same time, so. Using group up, that's good. We do want to be standing over here if at all possible, or have our team standing over here with us. Like, this is a bit, we could have tried to kill, like, a few people here, but we kind of meander around a little bit. This is far. Like, right now, Junkrat, we could kill Junkrat with our flashbang. As soon as somebody enters, like, this kind of range where we can roll up to them and flashbang them, we should do it as long as, like, it's safe to do that. And, like, we couldn't really be punished for it at that moment. Roadhog comes out, but he probably, like, we can't know that's coming. We could just see Junkrat is overextending by himself, and we have to punish people who overextend. McCree is so good at that, as I keep saying. We need to really punish people for that kind of movement. And then we kind of just, like, wander around a little bit. We come back over to the point. This is very risky what you're doing here to try and go for the Roadhog like that. Turns out we find a Junkrat instead, which is a bit of a bait and switch, but so it all works out in the end, but it was very risky to try and pull that maneuver on a Roadhog, because I don't know what his hook cooldown was like at that point, so you probably didn't either, and like I got more time to think about it, so it was a very risky maneuver to pull off. I would have just fallen back around the way we're going now and tried to shoot him from the other end, but I mean, you know, at the same time, McCree, you can kill people like Roadhog if you flashbang them, because well, not by like right-clicking, but if you stun a Roadhog, it's really easy to just headshot him a couple times, and then Roadhog's like, oh fuck, Jesus Christ. Even if he kills you, he'll probably still die, because he'll have to like hook to kill you, but like, you know, it's complicated. It's complicated. Very unfortunate about the Symmetra shield right there. At that point, I would have just been, like, running away a lot fast. I would have been trying to get out of there as fast as possible. But, you know, our team comes in, helps us get the Symmetra. It's all good in the end. Fun fact, by the way, not a lot of people realize this, or if they don't think it's the case, even though it is. You're actually slower if you walk backwards. Even I only found this out fairly recently. You are slower if you walk backwards. So if you're getting attacked by a Symmetra or a Winston, and you're not confident that you can kill that person before they kill you, it is okay to turn around and run away, because if you're backpedaling away from them, you'll never get away from, you'll never get away from them. Like, they'll just continue to close in on you slowly. So if they're out of range, just turn and run if you don't think you can kill the person. That's perfectly okay. You know, don't feel pressured to stay and fight. If you're not feeling confident, if you're feeling too pressured, you can just run away and come back, because living is the most important thing. Like, not dying is step one, and everything else is secondary. So, I like this. I do quite like this. It doesn't really matter, but I do like that you, like, rolled forward to stand in front of the soldier when that happened. He's ulting right now for some reason, so, I don't know about that. Probably pushed it on accident, to be fair. So I kinda like that you saw he got trapped and did go forward to, like, take a shot for him, since he was gonna be wounded from the trap. It's a good thing to, like, be in the habit of, right? Also, should have flashbanged that Lucio way earlier. He was, again, a free kill, but we used the flashbang way late. Again, I kind of feel like you forget you have it now and then. It's very important to remember. But as I was saying, this is kind of something I want to talk about, is that, like, people kind of hesitate to go forward and take a shot for someone if they end up in, like, a position where they're trapped. Like, if you see a teammate getting frozen by Mei, like, and you know they're gonna get frozen, and you can take the shot for them, you should go forward and try to take the shot for them, because even if Mei headshots you, that's 150 damage. And she probably won't headshot you because you'll be closer and she's aiming for the person over there. Like, you can save that person's life so easily by doing something like that. So, even though nothing was happening, I like that you did it anyway. It's a good thing to be in the habit of doing, especially if you're playing someone like Genji as well, right? Like, think about it. You see someone get hooked as Genji. If you can get between them and deflect the Roadhog shot back into them, you'll save that person and almost kill Roadhog. But you never see a Genji try something like that, right? But it is something that I like to see people do. It can be very impactful to say, like, you'll save someone's life, and that's really important, because you don't want to ever fight, like, an uneven fight, you know? Something like that. Well, uneven against you, right? So that's a very risky maneuver, because we're trying to advance on a Lucio right there while our flashbang was still on cooldown. Would have been really easy if Lucio was less pressured to just push us off the edge by making that motion. If you're playing against a Pharah or a Lucio, or a D.Va as well, to a certain extent, you have to be real careful when you're approaching a ledge, or playing around a ledge, because, we could have been pushed off really easily doing that since our flashbang was down. Now again, this is target prioritization again, because we've got our flashbang. This Lucio should be dead again, because we can just flashbang him, right-click him. And Roadhog's taking a breather, so it's not like he's about to protect him. But we don't do that. We look at Roadhog for a little while. We don't even acknowledge Lucio. And then we look at the molten coring Torbjorn, who is, like, the worst person we could be trying to focus in this situation. Again, support's overextending. It's such a free kill. And getting a free kill on a support is really dope.
Yeah. Alright, let's just wait Griffin take it again.
So we have High Noon. We do kind of want to use it if at all possible. We're not worrying about it too much, but we're trying to look for an opportunity still. But it's really hard to do that on this map just because of, like, all the ledges, like, on the point and everything. But we have it if we see the opportunity. We're trying to move in on the teleporter right now. That's good. You don't need to get this close to the teleporter. You could safely fire at that from further back. Got the Symmetra. That's really good. Reaper's about to be sad. Reaper's very sad. And we got the teleporter in the end. Great. We could try to kill that turret that's above us right now, because it's right next to us on the ledge, but We're trying to make roads into the point, which is also what we want to do because they are down people right now. Again, should have just flashbanged to Junkrat right there as he came around the corner. He would have again been a free kill. Junkrat overextends a lot in this game, as does Lucio. We get the Torbjorn turret, that's good. I would have probably shot for Torbjorn instead of the turret because a Torbjorn hitting the turret is so fucking predictable. They will stand there and they will keep hitting that turret even if you start shooting them. So Torbjorn was probably a free kill because I wouldn't have expected him to react very quickly to us starting to kill him. Torbjorn's also really easy to headshot. Now, this is not the appropriate use of High Noon because again, we have our flashbang up. We could have just killed Lucio right as he ran past us. And this is a really terrible position to ult in because, like, look at all the stuff people can hide behind, and we're just standing out in the middle of the fucking courtyard. It's risky as hell, and we're unlikely to get anybody with it. So I don't like this. We could have just flashbanged to try and do what we were doing. We get him in the end, because he pokes his face out, even though we were doing that. I would have gone around the corner right there. Even though you were low HP, I would have gone around the corner right there to flashbang and kill Torbjorn, because we know their team is so scattered right now that there was probably no one there to help Torbjorn. So it doesn't matter that we're low HP because we have the flashbang still. Flashbang's pretty good for that. Turns out there was a Roadhog there, but I still think, like, going for the Torbjorn there would have been pretty free. And then we get shot by Reaper, we die to the turret, it's very sad, but our team's gonna win the game. There we go. So, is the play of the game in this? I do like to look at the play of the game in the end of the replays. Oh, it's a Lucio play. Pushes people into the well? Oh, no? Doesn't push people in the well? Oh, he does push someone in the well, okay. Damn, unlucky D.Va, unlucky, am I right? Popped out right into the well. Oh god, that's tragic. Oh god, look at that. Oh no, how depressing. Alright, anyway though. So, if I were to give you like one piece of advice to work on, it would be, one thing to try and work on, it would be to, like, use your flashbang a little bit more liberally. Don't, like, throw it, like, just for the sake of throwing it. Obviously, don't go that extreme with it. But there were a lot of situations in this game where you could have punished someone with your flashbang really easily, and that's really, really important for playing McCree, is just punishing people that overextend, like Junkrat and Lucio kept doing. That's, like, the main thing that stood out to me. Also, try to, like, it's not like you used High Noon a lot to begin with, but try to be a bit more careful when you use High Noon, because not great positioning on most of them. There was the one on Well that was really good, where you got the two people across the end of it, but the others were all pretty lackluster. Obviously, like, you died in one of them right as you started. Yeah, and, like, aim better is not good advice, but, your aim was, a little bit off. Obviously, aim better is not good advice, but, I'll tell you something you can do to try and improve your aim. You probably already know about this, since you were, like, on a subreddit about learning Overwatch when you posted this, thing. But, you sub a custom game, and you fill it with Ana bots, and you turn on headshots only. Because Ana can't score headshots, so, like, they can't do anything to you, but you can just go around and practice shooting the Anas, like, getting headshots on the Anas. And it's just, like, a thing you can do, by yourself, without the pressure of a real game. You can just use that to try and improve your aim. And that's really, useful to do for someone like McCree, or, Widowmaker, obviously, Hanzo. Less so for Soldier, because he's more concerned with just hitting people, rather than getting headshots. But, you know, so that's something you can try to work on your aim. You probably already knew about that, but just in case. But yeah, those are the main points. Hopefully you found them helpful. And thank you for watching.